She pressed a DNA report into my hand. Your son isn't yours. I didn't flinch. Instead, I handed her the medical file that had ended everything long before she realized it. The envelope on the counter looked innocent. Plain, white, crisp, but I knew better. It waited like a trap. I picked it up, feeling the weight of the paper, smooth and thick between my fingers. My pulse stayed steady. I'd trained myself to hold back, to observe before reacting. Surprise, she said from behind me, her tone too even, almost rehearsed. I turned. She was smiling, but something sharp hid beneath it. Satisfaction, maybe even triumph. I tore open the envelope. The words inside rearranged my world. A DNA test. My son's. Not mine. Her eyes stayed fixed on me, hungry for a reaction. Betrayal, panic, collapse. I gave her none of it. Instead, a cold smile spread across my face, the kind that drains warmth from a room. Is that so? I asked. My voice was even, though my heartbeat thudded hard beneath the surface. She lifted her chin slightly, pleased with herself, sure she had landed the final blow. I didn't say another word. I didn't have to. The storm inside me gathered strength, not bluster. Betrayal wasn't something you attacked with raw emotion. You answered it with precision. And precision was where I excelled. My fingers brushed the envelope in my pocket, the one she knew nothing about. She thought this would break me, shift the ground beneath my feet. She had no idea what I had been piecing together. Over the past weeks, I had caught the signs she didn't mean to show. The hushed phone calls, the fleeting guilty looks, the messages deleted a second too late. I had tried to ignore the unease, to chalk it up to stress, but instinct had whispered the truth long before she handed me the paper. Then came the evidence, small things at first. A change in her routine. Extra attention to her appearance. A smile at her phone that wasn't meant for me. And now this test, delivered like a weapon. Your son isn't yours, she repeated, as though repeating it would shatter me. I held myself still. The storm roared behind my calm facade. In the days that followed, I watched her with careful eyes. She moved as if she had already won, as if she believed I was too broken to see through her inconsistencies. The stories that didn't line up, the details that shifted every time she told them. She never realized how closely I observed. I didn't confront her. Confrontation was messy, emotional, unpredictable. Instead, I gathered every piece of the puzzle. Her calls, her texts, the emails she forgot to erase, the receipts she brushed aside, her digital footprints, and the quiet contradictions she left trailing behind her. I even had access to her medical records, routine appointments, lab results, everything she assumed I would never scrutinize. So I watched. Played the part of the devastated husband, quiet, shaken, wounded. Inside, I was cutting through the noise with perfect clarity. Every lie she told me became another piece on the board. Every slip became leverage. She thought she controlled the story. She was about to learn she didn't. And then I saw it. One detail she hadn't accounted for. A single record buried in all the others. A small medical note most people would skip past. But to me it was the missing piece. I didn't grin. Didn't gloat. I just felt a quiet certainty settle over me. The feeling of someone who finally understands the whole picture. The final move revealed itself long before she realized the game was even in motion. The next morning, I asked her to join me at the table. A DNA report lay beside me, my son murmuring to himself as he played in the other room. The scene looked ordinary, harmless, almost gentle. I've been thinking, I said in an even voice, about your little surprise. Her smile faltered. What are you talking about? I pushed a folder toward her. Thick. Heavy. Filled with the things she had hoped would stay hidden. This, I murmured, tapping it lightly, is the real surprise. She reached for it with unsteady fingers. Confusion spread across her face. Then disbelief. Then dread. What is all this? She whispered. Your own secrets, I answered. Everything you didn't want me to see. And yes, my son is mine. Her complexion drained as she turned page after page. Each paragraph seemed to hit her harder than the last. I remained still, letting the silence say what words couldn't. She understood what this meant. She understood that I knew everything. I stood over her, composed. You thought you could break me, I said quietly. You thought I'd never find out. She tried to speak, but no sound formed, only fear and the weight of realization. I'm not interested in your explanations, I continued. The facts are enough. She sank into the chair, not dramatically, just defeated, emotionally exhausted. I left the folder where it was, walked to the door, and paused. Just remember, I said, this wasn't revenge. This was truth. I stepped out. The door clicked shut. No shouting, no chaos, just the end. In the days that followed, she reached out. Calls, messages, apologies, but I didn't respond. I focused on my son and myself, trying to rebuild something steadier, something honest. When I looked back, it wasn't out of sorrow or anger, but to see how far I'd moved from who I used to be. I wasn't celebrating. I wasn't triumphant. I simply felt a calm sense of closure. Some truths don't require confrontation. Some betrayals don't need retaliation. Some endings arrive with quiet certainty. I chose the path forward, and I didn't turn around again.